Good afternoon. Welcome to day 10 of the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. We have been reading for 9 days so far, and today is day 10. We invite you to join the fun, pick something to read, look at the topics for the month. We have different topics every day this month, so there's plenty of opportunity for you to get something to read. We are giving voice to words written by Black people around the world, and we're reading all types of genres and topics just to show the variety of literature written by people of African descent. And so today, our topic is paranormal, and we are reading Pretty Evil by Lexi Davis. And we're going to read a little different couple of sections. This is a very interesting read. And so we will start with chapter 4. As soon as Sunny saw the cellar door, she felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck her in the gut and set her stomach on fire. Images of those scary dreams rushed back, and for a moment she couldn't move. She remembered that dizzying blackness, the sensation of vertigo, and the feeling of falling into that thick, ungodly darkness. She also remembered feeling like she wasn't alone, like there was another presence in there, something bad. Now she was feeling all those things again, but this time the feeling was much stronger and she wasn't dreaming. As she, Gethin, and Coach prepared to go down into the cellar to rescue Rice, a quick new haunting image flashed in Sunny's mind. She saw the dark, blurry outline of a woman, but this was no ordinary woman. She was dark like the night and hauntingly seductive. Sultry, sensual, and sinister, this woman was the shape of beauty, the silhouette of evil, and she was wearing all white. Excuse me. Down in the cellar, in the earth beneath Sunny's feet, a woman draped in a flowing white dress hovered next to Rice, who'd gotten lost in the wine cellar's corridors. More like a cavern than a wine cellar, it was a multi-tonal hiding place for God knows what. The air was so thick with darkness that no human could survive down there for long. This woman lived there and had done so for many years. The cellar was her home, and trespassers, especially men, were strictly forbidden. Crate, look, we have a visitor. It's a man. Vix walked next to Rice as he stumbled in the dark, unaware of her presence. Crep jumped up and nearly fell off his perch. Crep was Vix's sidekick, her old fiendish partner in crime, and they hadn't had a visitor in 99 3/4 years. Vix scolded him. Calm down, old ghoul. Squat low so he won't see you, and don't speak aloud. Talk to me through your thoughts. You do remember how to do that, don't you? Vix was a caustic beauty, untouched by age. Her darkness was delectable, but it wasn't a skin-deep darkness. It was more of an aura, and it penetrated down to her soul. Swarthy, smoldering, and sexy, she had the face of an angel and the heart of a hellcat. Her old companion, whose crinkly skin and crooked torso looked every minute of his 120 years, needed a moment to get over his shock. He had to readjust and try to remember how to use his rusty preternatural powers. He hadn't done that telepathy thing in decades. Compared to Vix, who was still as sharp and vicious as she had been nearly 100 years ago, when she was the head demoness of the brothel, Crep was awkward and pitifully clumsy. Unlike Crep, who was a ghoul, Vix was a she-devil, a spectral being who didn't have to hide. Vix was right up on Rice, peering in his face, walking alongside him, and he had no idea. Crep squatted low behind a wine barrel and peered through the murky darkness at Rice, who, with his arms outstretched like a zombie, tried to feel his way through the dark cellar. Rice coughed and gagged on the foul, humid air, and then held his nose. Vix let him pass her so she could check out his tush. Nice and round. She gestured with her hands like she was squeezing a tomato. I could have some fun with this guy before I kill him. Despite everything that happened 99 years ago that caused Vix and her assistant Crep to lose their brothel, she still had an uncontrollable horniness for human men. At the same time, she hated everything they stood for, especially the good looking ones. Hers was definitely a love hate relationship. Krepp squinted his jaundiced eyes and gritted his teeth, trying to telepath accurately despite his panic. But Vix, there's no time for that. His presence here jeopardizes what we've been waiting 99 years to regain, our house of ill repute. Only a few more months and our 100-year sentence will be over. Vic spoke aloud, knowing Rice couldn't hear her while she was in her spirit state, though he'd be able to hear Krepp, who was merely a ghoul with less supernatural powers than Vix. Oh, stop your blubbering, old ghoul. No, I know all that. There's no way I'd let this man get in the way of our long-awaited plans to resurrect this whorehouse back to his original grandeur. I'm just reminding you that your uncontrollable horniness got us into all this trouble in the first place. You violated the rule, remember? And then we're going to switch over to chapter 7. And we are reading aloud today from Pretty Evil by Lexi Davis. It is day 10 of the International Great Black Read Aloud. And today is Paranormal. And para means to be beyond, and so in part or alongside. And so paranormal means beyond normal. Bright and early Monday morning, Sunny didn't drive to her office at Soulmates Realty in West LA. She floated. Thinking about Marvin's upcoming proposal made the sky seem bluer and the traffic lighter. I'll tell you, that's a feat in LA. Sunny told her secretary, clear my schedule. I'll be working on a special project today. Sunny still couldn't believe she'd agreed to help the guys get that house. And if Marvin calls, put him through right away. She'd wanted to have dinner with Marvin last night, but he had another late patient consultation. The man was so dedicated, he even worked on Sunday nights. When she called him last night, he told her, Sunny, I have something very, very important I want to ask you, but I can't do it over the phone. Sunny's heart had stopped beating and she wanted to scream, yes, I'll marry you. But she'd remained silent and calm. Marvin said, my schedule lately has been unpredictable, so I don't know exactly when I can see you, but hopefully soon, okay? That's fine, she told him. I look forward to it. She could hardly wait. Sunny hadn't even turned on her computer when Geffen called her private number. Hey, Sunshine, what did you find out about that house? Can I sit down first? I just walked in the door. Come on. Now it's already 7:15. This is no time to be slacking on the job. Give me the parcel number and assessor's ID number. Do you have the owner's name yet? How about a phone number? Did you call him? What's his price? Geffen, calm down. Sheesh. Sunny watched the Windows logo come up on her computer screen. I'll start gathering the information and then I'll call you, okay? Bye, Geffen. Sunshine, what? Why don't I just hold while you look? Bye, Geffen. Sunny hung up. She spent the next 2 hours searching through the LA County Assessor's records, parcel maps, and other public records. But all she came up with was one big question mark. She called Geffen back. He answered right away. What do you have for me? This is strange. It's as if that house doesn't exist. Please, Sunshine, don't play games. I've been up all night thinking about that house, this loan, and no, really, Geff, it's like the information for both the house and the lot has been erased from public records. Every time I try to pull it up, I get information not available or record obsolete. That's impossible. Nothing's impossible. Remember, you said that. Sunny logged off her computer and shoved printouts into her briefcase. I'm heading out to Culver City to the assessor's West District office. The clerk said he let me search manually through the microfiche. Maybe when the system was computerized, somehow that parcel's information was not entered correctly. The West District office is on Bristol Parkway, right? Uh-huh, Sunny confirmed. I'll call you and let you know what I find. Sunny hung up, hopped into her yellow Saab, and drove south on Sepulveda Boulevard to West Slauson Avenue to Bristol Parkway. When she pulled up at Assessor's West District office in Culver City and parked her car, Geffen was waiting beneath a flagpole, pacing and looking at his watch. What took you so long? He had his briefcase, too. Good morning to you, too. It's so good to know that my client has enough faith in me to let me handle things by myself. Geffen opened the front door for her. It's not that I don't have faith in you, sunshine. I just don't want you to screw this up. He winked at her. They went inside together. 5 hours later, with no lunch break and eyes sore from staring into the blurry microfiche screens, Sonny and Geffen were told by the clerk that their office would be closing in 40 minutes. Unfreaking believable. Geffen removed a fiche from the machine and tossed it on the desk. Nothing. Sonny and Geffen had searched every parcel entry within a 20-mile radius, thinking maybe the parcel information with the mansion on it had been misfiled. Sonny rubbed her eyes. I've never experienced anything like this before. Every single square inch of dirt in the state of California is supposed to be accounted for in these records. Her stomach growled. She took a sip from her warm Dr. Pepper, her third one from the vending machine. Maybe we didn't really see a house out there. Maybe it was all a figment of our imaginations. Geffen picked up her Dr. Pepper and sniffed it. I hope for your sake there's alcohol in here, or else you really are losing your mind. Sonny got up and stretched. Well, Gaff, dear, I'm sorry. We gave it our best shot. Sit down, Geffen said. He flipped open his cell phone and voice dialed a two-way with Rice and Coach. Nairobi Chiefs, listen up. Geffen gave them the 411 on what was happening, gave them the address of the assessor's office, and then gave them both 10 minutes to get down there. We've got one more box to search, and this place ain't closing until we're done. Rice got there first. Judging by his wrinkled t-shirt and loose jeans, he'd been napping. Coach had on red sweats and had a bandana tied around his big head. He came in complaining. I don't know nothing about no microfiche. Sonny corrected Coach. It's microfiche. Coach huffed. Whatever. Somebody needs to turn on a computer and push Control and F. At 3 minutes until closing, Sonny and the guys were down to the last two microfiche in the box, and they still hadn't found anything. The clerk came into the room. It's 5 o'clock. We're closed. Geffen spun around in his chair. It's not 5 o'clock. It's 3 minutes until. You are not closing, and we are not done yet. Geffen snatched the last two microfiche from the box. He tossed one to Sonny, who quickly loaded it in her machine and began reading. The clerk left. I found it, Sonny said. Her nose was practically touching the screen. Geffen didn't believe his ears. Neither did the other guys. Coach said, quit playing. Sonny held her eyes glued on what she'd found. It's right here. I found it. It matches the parameters exactly. But you're not going to believe what else I see here. Geffen sprang over to Sonny's machine and looked in the screen. Rice and Coach tried to look over their shoulders. Geffen squinted, read the entry, and froze, as did Sonny. Both were sitting there speechless. Coach complained, I can't see nothing with y'all heads in the way. Sonny told him, we found the parcel, but it's like someone took a permanent marker and blacked out all of the owner's information. What? Rice squeezed his way in and looked. You're right. Look, there's something scribbled on the side. It looks like two letters. Sonny zeroed in on them. Yeah, that's a V, and that looks like an X. It says VX near where the owner's name goes. VX. That's all we've got. No address, no phone number, no former mortgage company, just VX. They all looked at each other. Coach asked, what the hell is a VX? I have been reading from Pretty Evil by Lexi Davis. Today is day 10, Paranormal, and we hope that you are enjoying the International Great Black Read Aloud. We want to encourage you to follow us on social media, subscribe to our webpage. We're on social media on all the platforms we're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Black Read Aloud. And you can find us online, subscribe at www.greatblackreadaloudday.org. And we are reading aloud all month, giving voice to words written by Black people around the world. We are displaying and we are showing all the varied types of literature that we write and all the varied things that we read. And we want you to join the fun. So grab a book, grab a magazine article, get a short story, get an anthology, get a compilation, and join the fun and let's read aloud. It is the International Great Black Read Aloud Day, and you're invited to join the fun. Thank you. Have a good day.